So first of all, you might want to clean up your transmission, make sure there's not too much dirt around. And then once you're done that, start undoing the bolts all around the edges. Like when you're starting, just undo them a little bit, make sure they're all loose before you undo them all the way, because otherwise you might crack your case. So make sure you get there's two little bolts here which you might have to take your pulley off, and don't undo these flathead screws, because there's two balls that are for the selector, and if those fall out they're a real pain to get back in, so don't undo those. So now it's time to open it up. Once it's open, try not to move the shifter selector too much, because that can make the ball bearings fall out, and that just is annoying. Sometimes you'll have to give it a tap with a hammer, but I haven't needed to because my one has been opened quite a few times. My one looks very weird and white because I put oil in it, and I think I had a bit of water got into it, so I'll have to replace all that oil. I have to remove it for welding anyway. So yeah. So you also don't want to move this column here, this little bit, because that needs to line up with that tiny pin once you're done, and so if you don't move that and don't move that, it should make it a lot easier. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this gear, just so no gear is connected to the big ball gear for the differential. So this is what we're going to be welding. We're going to weld these spider gears. If it'll focus, it'll weld those spider gears to the internal shaft, which connect the two spider gears, and that will be our locker. So as you can see, I've removed all the gears. You don't have to remove the big set of gears, but I'm just going to. It'll just make it easier for when I'm welding, because I'm using an arc welder, not a MIG, and so it's going to be really annoying. And I'm letting it drain all the oil out. Then I'm going to clean it off with some petrol to get all the surfaces nice and shiny clean, including all the ball gear and these rear shafts. I won't be putting those in while I'm welding, just because I don't need to. And yeah, so as you can see, I got it all cleaned up. That's a bit cleaner, I don't really need that, I'll just cover that with an old rag. But if we look in here, I'm going to be welding right to that part, the spider gear, to this internal shaft here, and I'm going to do it to the other one. So I'm going to tack it while it's still in the transmission, and then once I take it out the transmission, I'll do the rest of the way around of the shaft.
It's sparking alright.
So as you can see, I've finished welding. Pretty bad welds because, well, it's high tensile, and yeah, I had to get it pretty hot, so yeah, I'm gonna chuck it in and show you what it's like. So there you go, it's all in. Turn one side, they both turn. It's a lock diff system. If I try to stop the other side, it just turns anyway. So yeah, hopefully it'll hold up with my pretty bad welds, but whatever. So as you can see, I've got all the gears back in all together, and everything's good. Oh, that spins round, everything spins, got the brake on and all that. Now I'm going to put the lid on. I'll also make sure that this tiny wee pin here goes into that little column there, so that I can shift gears with it.